God because you shaved your beard. I can tell that, right? Now, first and foremost, we got to realize that we've been stopped from reading for 400 years. The understanding of the Bible have been taught to us through white lenses, through a white filter. But I dare you to go back and start over. And you tell me, when you start over and you start reading your Bible, when do God stop talking to the Israelites and start talking to the other nations? And you call me, I would never get that call. I will never get that call because this Bible is for the Israelites hands down, right?
That's
now,
right.
He said that people was going into slavery on slave ships, correct? Now, let's see what we got to do to get out of that, right? Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12.
Uh-huh.
And now Israel,
Uh-huh.
what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
What does God require of us Israelites, the people that went into slavery on slave ships? Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God,
Uh-huh.
to walk in all his ways.
We got to fear him and walk in all his ways. So no matter what we like, he don't care what we like. I might like two women. I might like two women at the same time. I think that that's cute, right? But guess what? God don't like that. He don't think that the two girls kissing, he don't think that that's cute.
Right.
He think that that's nasty. But a lot of men want to see that, right? He said, you got to follow my ways. You got to get married, right? You lay down with that sister, you stay with her, right? Read on.
To walk in all his ways,
Uh-huh.
and to love him.
You got to love God. What does it mean to love God?
Intimacy.
Intimacy, right? Intimacy is like hugs and kisses. We cannot go and hug, kiss God. We can't show him intimacy, right? So if I say, my man, I love you, man. It's my uncle right here. Love my uncle, right? I go to his house. He live $50 on the wall now. And you caught me on camera. You say, man, I saw you take my $50. He said, I'm sorry, uncle, I love you, man. And then you put it on the table the next time I come. And I do it again. I say, I love you, uncle. You're like, man, you don't love me. You're stealing from me left and right. So how do I show you love? I show you love is when you drop your $50. I say, you dropped your $50.
That's right.
That's how I show you love, right?
Right.
Now, how do we show God we love him? Give me 1 John 5 and 3. Let's see how we love God, right? Because we think we love God, but we haven't even been introduced to God yet. We haven't even been introduced to him. So how can we love him if we don't know him?
Right.
We don't know that he black. We don't know his son black. We don't know we his people. We still Americans, right? Read what you got.
1 John chapter 5 verse 3.
This is how you show it.
For this is the love of God,
This is the love of God. This is how you show you love God. Read.
that we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
Keep his
You
commandments.
show you love God by keeping his commandments. Read.
And his commandments are not grievous.
So I can tell you I love you all day. I love you, Unc, and I steal from you. You're like, man, get out of here. You don't love me. You don't love me. I say, I love you. I love you, Auntie. Pow. I show you hatred with my action, but I told you with my mouth I love you, right? So now, if you love God, give me Leviticus 21 and 5, right? If you love God, you will do this, right? It's probably, I don't know if you heard it before or not, but now that you're hearing it now, obedience, right? Watch this.
Leviticus 21 verse 5.
Now you're being reconnected with your God. Read.
They shall not make baldness upon their head.
No bald heads for the Israelite man.
Right.
We can't do the Michael Jordan. We can't do the Floyd Mayweather. God don't like that. Regardless if we think it's clean or not, right? We're not supposed to do it. Read.
Neither shall they shave off the corners of their beard.
Neither shall we shave off our beard. So guess what? If you love God, what would you do in your repentance? Keep your beard. Easy work. It's easy. You remember it said it's not grievous? How you doing, sis? We're talking about the love of God, right? And if you love God, you're going to keep his commandments, right? So my man right here, he just found out he got to keep his beard. Thus saith the Lord, right? Give me Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Here go a law for my sisters, right? And if we love God, because remember, we've been taken into slavery for 400 years, even more than that. We've been stopped from reading. The people that whipped us and raped our mothers taught us everything about God with the Bible closed.
Right.
And we just believed them because we have no other choice. They must know, right? But now that we can read, we can go into there and say, wait a minute, it don't say that. It don't mean that. Okay, it mean this, and God wants to do this, that, and the third, right? So if we love God, watch this. Watch this.
Deuteronomy 22 verse 5.
Uh-huh.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
Women not supposed to wear what belong to men. This is how I know we're disconnected from God, because when you look around, women all over the world are wearing what belongs to men, right? So now, guess what? Who was tricked first? Who was tricked first in the Garden of Eden? The woman. So guess what? The devil always going to attack the woman first, right? So guess what? They said, hey, woman, now that your man is at war, you can wear the pants, right? I guarantee you. I'll make a bet. I'll make a bet with you. What's your name, sis? What's your name, sis? Monique? I bet you $10,000 that your great-grandmother never wore a pair of pants. Never. Your great-grandmother, never. Not once. That was disrespectful. They would never do that, right? Because that was men's apparel, right? Now, something happened along the way to where now women wear pants on a daily, right? And we don't even think that is bad because we've been disconnected from God. For instance, right? When you see a brown lady, right? She got on a veil over her face. She covered up by the head, dark clothing, right? She got a dot on her forehead. What God she serve? That's probably Arab. You know what I'm saying? She got the little hijab on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that going to Allah. So guess what? By the way that you dress, I can tell what God you serve, right? If you see a bald-head Chinese man, and he got one shoulder out, and he got on a robe, dark orange and light orange, that's Buddhism, right? So by the way, you see, I didn't say his God, but me and you knew what God he served just by the way he dressed, right? So when you see a woman in pants, right? She's an American. She serves an American God that don't exist in the Bible. The God in the Bible wants the women to wear modest dresses, right? Read on. Keep reading. Watch this.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Neither should a man put on a woman's clothing, right? So don't you see men putting on women's clothing now? Acting all effeminate and all that. First they trick the woman, and then the men follow along, right? Read on.
For all that do so,
Everybody that do this thing, read.
For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
God said you're an abomination if you do that, right? So guess what? Abomination is something hateful, right? So you don't want God to look at you like, ugh, man. Yeah, right? So guess what? In your repentance, how do you repent from? How did my man that just came here, how did he repent from his beard? He just let it grow. Yeah. Exactly, right? So guess what? In his reconnecting with God, right, he let his beard grow. Easy work. Now, when you reconnect with God, how you going to? Easy work. Exactly. Because God said it's not grievous. It's this easy. Right. It's that easy. Right. You see what I'm saying? Now we connected to God, right? And I don't care what nobody say about you, what nobody's talking about you. Now you letting your light shine. You letting your light shine, right? Give me that Matthew 5:14, right? So that was one law. It's a bunch of other laws, right? Marriage law, see? She don't know. I could tell you disconnected from God, my sis. I could tell we disconnected from God as a people. Now, in our reconnecting with God, we got to learn what he wants us to do, right? Watch this.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. Ye are the light of the world.
Hey, we the light of the world, sis. What's your name? Tyra, right? Matter of fact, go up to 14 where it say the salt. Watch this. You are the salt.
Verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost its savor,
She got the question? Yes, sir.
wherewith shall it be salty?
He said you the salt of the earth, right? So what does the salt do to the world? Or what does salt do? That's the flavor, right?
Right.
So guess what? However we behave, everybody gonna behave, right?
Right.
So in the 1970s, we was pop locking, breakdancing. They just now pop locking and breakdancing in China just now, right? They got low riders and stuff like the Mexicans just now. They buttoning up their shirt at the top like the Mexicans just now. We the salt of the earth, right? So however we behave and get down, the world gonna follow, right? Read on.
Wherewith shall it be salty? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men.
So if you're not executing your flavor, if a salt ain't got no flavor, right? The flavor is God's laws, right? Why would you put that on your chicken? Why would you put that on your food? It don't have no taste to it. You might as well get rid of that and get some new salt, right? Read on.
You are the light of the world.
You are the light of the world, meaning guess what? Light show you which way to go.
Right.
So we the ones supposed to show the world which way to go, right? Read on.
A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
You can't be hid. We're a city set on a hill. You ever drove into Reno? You been to Reno before? You been to Reno? You ever been to Vegas? You see how bright Vegas is? You can't miss Vegas. He said that's how you are as a people. Guess what? You can't hide because you're too black. Your lips too big. You got too much fashion, right? We can't hide. We the light of the world, read.
Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick.
So you don't put a candle under the bed. What will you do to the house? You burn the whole house down, right? So what you supposed to do with that light that God gave you? These laws. Let everybody see it. So let everybody see your modest dress, right? What's that one that say 106 and 35, right? So now, my sister, your question is, how did white people infiltrate us, right? How did white people infiltrate us? Is that kind of accurate?
That wasn't necessarily my question. I was asking him that, but what I was asking him as we walked across the street was, as we acknowledge and celebrate our African heritage, and I'm using that word, he told me the other word, I'm going to use that word because that's what I'm used to.
Yes.
Where do our Native American roots fall into that?
Okay, cool.
I'm looking right here and it say the Great American Melting Pot.
Yeah, that which we in.
And so therefore, even though I acknowledge that I do have African in me, if I trace my bloodline backwards, that's the last thing I'm gonna get. If I'm gonna be able to discover it at all, and I'm talking about where my tribe come from in the motherland.
All right, so pause. Let's pause, right? Okay. Before we get on a separate page, let's get on the same page, okay? Page 1. We all went into slavery. They took all of our nationality away from us. We don't know who the hell we are. Right. Page 2. They lied to us and said that we was black and African. Ain't no such thing as no black person. Ain't no such thing as no African. The land Africa was conquered by Leo Scipio's Africanus. He conquered Northeast Africa. He beat Hannibal in the Second Punic War, right? He named that landmass after himself. So when you say you're African, you're saying I descend from a white man named Leo Scipio Africanus, right? Now, you just walked up in a history lesson, my sis, right?
I've been getting it already.
Cool. Keep getting it. Right, so guess what? When we say we're African, right? We saying we descend from a white man named Leo Scipio Africanus, right? Now you say Native American, right? The name America was named from another white navigator, right? He helped fund Christopher Columbus' voyage over here, right? And in honor of him, they named this landmass America after him, right? So if you say I'm American, you're saying I descend from a white man named Amerigo, right? So when you say I'm native white man, that don't exist either. Back to page 1. We went into slavery. They took our nationality. We don't know who we are, right? Right. You cannot trace your bloodline unless you have the DNA of the original person, right? And guess what? It's only accurate to the grandparent. And then after that, it's split in 4, 5, 6 different ways. Then it's split to 16 ways. Then it's split to 32 ways. Then it's split to... You can never find your heritage like that, right? Now, guess what? This is how God showed you who you are, right? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 48. And if you fit this curse, you're an Israelite, right? So now, let's get on this. Watch this. Bear with me. Watch this. There's no such thing as an African heritage, right? If I ask you, right? How many languages in Africa? It's 2,000 languages in Africa. How many tribes? It's 3,000 tribes in Africa. Which one are we? We will never find that out because ain't no African looking for you. You ain't never heard no African stand up in the syndicate and say, bring our people back. Why? Because they know we not the same people. You understand? Right. Chinese, Japanese look the same. Not the same people. Nope. Right? Tonga, Samoans look the same. Not the same people. Black people, African people look the same to the naked eye, but me and you could tell an African from a mile away. Sure. You get what I'm saying? We can tell they're different from us, right? So read what you got.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
God said the Israelites was going to serve their enemies, right? Did we serve a people in history? Yes, we did. We served the white people. Look at everything you see here. Every computer company, every gas station, every stoplight, every liquor store, every grocery store, every business facility was built off the back of our people. Right. We built this place. You see what I'm saying? But we don't have no inheritance in it, right? So we served our enemy, read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
God said, I'm going to send this people against you. Since you don't want to serve me, I gave you the whole world. Fine, I'm going to put your enemy against you, read.
In hunger.
If you're hungry, you got to go to your enemies to get it. In slavery. Could we just go into the big house and make a sandwich? What would happen? You'll be hanging up tonight. Strange fruit, right? What about today? We serve our enemies' kids for that food. When you go to Albertsons or Lucky, do our people own that? Right? So we got to go to our enemies for food, read.
And in thirst.
If you thirsty, you got to go to your enemies for that too, read on.
And in nakedness.
The clothes on your back is provided by your enemies. We don't own the raw textiles to make these fabrics. We don't have anything, read.
And in want of all things.
Anything you want on this planet, you got to go to your enemies' children for it. For instance, you want a driver's license? Got to go to your enemies for it, right? You want a birth certificate? You got to go to your enemies for it. If war pop off, you don't got no army here. You got to depend on your enemy's army, right? These basic things that we should have as a people is provided by our enemies, right? Read on.
And he,
and that enemy, read,
shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Shall put a yoke of iron upon our neck. Shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, right? We just read the Bible and we're looking at a history book picture. We served our enemies, right? Now we got yokes of iron on our neck, just like God said, right? Read on.
Until he hath destroyed thee.
So God said these yokes of iron will be upon our neck until we are destroyed, right? We destroyed for lack of knowledge. Give me that in the Bible, right? So guess what? When I ask you your nationality, right? And not just you specifically, I'm saying us as a people, the people that went into slavery, right? We don't know our nationality. I can ask you, what's your nationality? You say, I'm black, right? What would you say? You say African and Nigerian?
West African, Nigerian.
West African? Okay, okay. What would you say?
I don't want to be on camera. I'm going to say that first.
Don't put it on camera.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Secondly, I would say mostly African. A lot of different things. But what I identify with is African American, black, colored.
Right, right. Remember,
That's
black.
what I put on. I know black is a color.
For sure.
So.
For sure.
Trust me.
For sure.
I'm very much.
And
into it.
our
That's why I
purpose
came
is,
over.
for sure, our purpose is to give true nationality back. I want to get rid of the color. Let's get rid of the color. Let's get the real nationality
What
back.
do you identify as?
I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
That's
From
right.
the tribe of Judah. I know my nationality and I know my tribe based upon prophecies.
Okay.
Everything that God said was going to happen to me, I can read about it.
Yeah.
Every single thing,
But
right?
that's everybody though. We can all read about it. But you prophesy, whether we believe or not, it's
Right.
still gonna happen.
For sure, right?
Definitely.
So let me show you. Give me
believe
Leviticus
in God.
26 and 17. Let me show you something that
My
for sure
grandfather
happened.
was a minister. My brother
Right.
who lives in Texas is a minister.
Now in that ministry, remember this, sis. Remember this. Let's get back on the same page, right?
We on the same page.
Let's stay on the same page, right? We was taken into slavery, page 1. Page 2, we lost our nationality. Page 3, we was educated by our captors.
Okay.
All right, so guess what? Our captors, the people that hate you, right, told you God is white, right? Don't you question master, don't you worry about that.
Right.
And I can't teach every single one of these niggas, so the best thing that I could do is teach one of these niggas to teach the rest of the niggas, okay? Now, what happened, they set up seminary schools, say this is what you teach them, right? And now we all, our mothers, our grandmothers teach us the same doctrine that the slave master taught us.
Right.
Now, like I dare everybody to go back, start over. Whatever you think you believe, start over. Read it from the front. Read it from the front and read it to the back, and you tell me when God did away with his laws. Tell me when God did away with his people. Tell me when the people became white. You tell me, and I dare you won't find it. From front to back, this is the book of the Israelites.
That's right.
That black people, you understand? That don't know their nationality. So like you said, no matter what, we gon' fulfill whatever God said, right? So give me Deuteronomy 28 and 37. We lost our nationality, right? Let's read it. Matter of fact, keep your thumb here, go to Jeremiah 17 and 4. That's quicker. Watch this. We lost our nationality. We served an enemy which we didn't know, right? We're going to read that in the Bible. It's no way we can shake these curses. Watch this.
Jeremiah 17 verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
God said you was going to discontinue from your heritage as a people. So guess what? Your heritage is the food you ate, the holidays you kept, the laws you kept, right? Were we not discontinued from that in slavery? Yes, we was, right? Read on.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not.
We would discontinue from our heritage and serve our enemies in a land that we didn't know. Just like the Bible said, right? So whether we believe it or not, God's laws and his his prophecy is going to come to pass whether we believe it or not. You see what I'm saying? So guess what? God said the Israelites was going into slavery on slave ships. They was going to disconnect from their heritage. They was not going to know their homeland, right? But now here we are remembering who we are. We're remembering based upon prophecies and laws that we are that chosen people.
That's
and
right.
now how are we supposed to behave, right? Because the minister, right? What did he tell us to do to get the kingdom of heaven? What we got to do? Because we didn't, the church system been over us since slavery was eradicated, supposedly, right? That system been over us for that time, right? So in all those years, we talking about what, 1800, late 1800s, right? We've been freed, right? We should know at least how to get the kingdom of heaven, right? Right. So seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all his righteousness. Now I got what's righteousness?
To be right, to walk under God's light.
What's his light? You see? Now I'm not clowning you, right? You doing what you're trained to do, right? It's to quote things.
I know what that means.
Right. But when I ask you questions, right? What's the light? What's the righteousness?
Light is God. I want to follow after him, under his commands, under his control. I want him to lead.
Let's see what the light is. Give me
my
Proverbs
light.
6:23.
Bring it up.
So we can't have like different lights, right? So God is big on unity, right? One mind. A team cannot operate successfully doing different things, right? Half of the team on offense, half of the team on defense, but we supposed to be on offense. You know what I'm saying? You swatting me. We can't operate like that. Not you, but I'm saying us as a people. When we shoot each other, we swat at each other. You get what I'm saying? When we sleep with somebody else's wife, we just swat at each other. Not only did I sleep with your wife and cause hatred between y'all, but the kids that y'all had, I created eternal rift just from that action. How selfish is that? Not only did I hate you, but I hated your wife and your kids when I did that. We swatting each other by misbehaving, right? So read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp,
The commandments of God is a lamp. Read.
and the law is light.
And the law is light, right? So guess what? Seek his light mean what?
Seek his law.
Seek his laws, right? Here go a law.
Follow it.
You ready? Here go one, right? Give me 2 Thessalonians 3:10.
Bring it up.
And tell me how this would fix black people we just applied to. Blacks and Hispanics. How would this fix us, right? Watch this.
12:15. The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 3 and verse 10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat.
If every black Hispanic man followed that one law, hey, we got to work or we don't eat. You know what I'm saying? What would that do to our society? What would that do to our neighborhoods? What would happen to drug sales?
Have to leave.
What would happen to drug consumption?
If everybody stopped selling drugs and went to work,
Yeah.
honest days work,
Yes.
labor and toil,
Yeah.
work by the sweat of their brow.
Yeah.
Okay, that would bring it down.
That'll bring it down. It will almost eradicate it.
Obliterate.
You know what I'm saying? Almost it would, cause why would I have the need to sell drugs? I guarantee, if you was a Fortune 400 company owner, you would not sell drugs.
Some of it is
Period.
just a lifestyle.
Period.
That they've accumulated. And
Right.
It's they've done it so long that it's on them now. It's like a drug.
Okay. So guess what? That's the excuse we give people, right? Let's say your son. You say, look, I need you to clean up this room before I get home from work. And he say, look, Mom, hey, it's been dirty for so long and I just like it like this now. You're gonna be like, you better get your ass in there and do what Mama said, or you're gonna give him a punishment, right? God don't care how long we've been in. He said, look, here go my light, and you better follow it. And if not, you're gonna get a punishment. One punishment that we got was slavery on slave ships.
Right.
Our enemies ruling over us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We live in the punishment because we going off our own mind saying, God, I know what you're saying, but guess what? Hey, we've been in it so long. We used to it. This is why we do this. God don't give a damn about that. He don't. He wants you to obey his word like a good father. Right? So
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with